Hello and welcome to the Illinois Association of Park Districts Parkcast. I'm Wayne Utterback, Director of Communications and Digital Content, and today I'm joined by one of our recipients of the Outstanding Citizen Volunteer of the Year Award, Steve Gordon, who was recognized for his service by the Village of South Elgin Parks and Recreation Department at this year's IAPD Best of the Best Awards Gala. Thank you so much for joining me, Steve.
No, thank you for having me. It's been really exciting for everything that's been going on for the last couple of weeks. So thank you again.
Wonderful. Now, Steve, I was wanting to start our conversation by maybe just getting a little bit more information about you. How did you get started in interacting with your Parks and Recreation department there?
We own a store in South Elgin, Dairy Queen. Matter of fact, we originally started out in Elgin, and then we moved our location to South Elgin. When I started 20 some odd years ago, I always felt it was very important to be involved in the community. So I used to do volunteer work with Elgin, food kitchens, anywhere I can help with schools. And when I finally moved over to the South Elgin location, I got more involved. At that time, we did have like a South Elgin Business Association, and I would help fundraise events for the holidays for families that needed food, clothing, toys for the kids. Throughout the years, I stayed pretty active with that, again, staying involved with the schools, helping out wherever I can. At one point, I was approached by South Elgin Parks and Recs to be part of their community involvement to help out with volunteering on different things, and I agreed to do that. And since then, I've helped out on numerous occasions on events that we do throughout the South Elgin parks, Almost Winter Day, back to school days, DARE programs, getting again involved back with the schools. When we used to host our big Oktoberfest, staying involved with that. During the summer, we have a new oceanfront venue where we do a lot of things, and one of them is movie nights. So I'm heavily involved with that. And something new that we tried this year that I was in charge of is we do, instead of bingo, we do movie night bingo. And it's, again, getting families to come in, to get there early, letting them have fun at a very inexpensive or no cost to them, and spending quality time with their kids. So, throughout the years, it doesn't seem like I do that much, but I know one time me and Kim sat down and we figured that, I put in about 160 hours a year of volunteer work, which just amazes me. But it's partly because I do have fun. I enjoy interacting with people out there, and I enjoy seeing that the families and the community of South Elgin is having a good time and enjoying whatever they can through the village of South Elgin.
Now, you mentioned that you feel like there's kind of a sense of duty to give back to the community. Has that always been part of your mission in having a business, is knowing that you wanted to give back?
That was something, both my uncle and my dad were always self-employed. And that was something that was probably just brought into me, that you always give back to the community, but not even on the work level. My family, my wife, my son, my daughter are big supporters of giving back. We do, again, we collect clothes for the shelters. We collect food for the shelters. We do fundraisers for the shelters, and a lot of that's not even through our store. That's just on an individual basis and stuff like that. Right now, we're doing this big push where we're collecting pajamas for kids and young adults at our location. Again, just to give back to the community, but more so that there's a lot of families out there that need extra help. And, I'm always feel that, as long as I can do what I can do, I want to be part of it.
Now, kind of touching on that, what does volunteering mean to you, just in general? What is the feeling that it kind of evokes in you, knowing that you're involved in that way?
Volunteering just means giving, just donating your time to help out your community wherever they need you. And again, if it's helping out, a couple hours in a food kitchen, a couple hours making deliveries for clothing, a couple hours for making delivery for foods, or in the case of our Parks and Recs, volunteering to be down there to help out and organize any of the events that they have planned. So just devoting my time more than anything else. But like I said, I enjoy it. I like being down there. I like talking to people, and I get a sense of good feelings when people come up and they're like, "You're always here when we're doing different things or volunteering," and I just enjoy being out there and doing that.
Now, I know mentioned in the nomination for your award, it was mentioned that you bring excitement, you bring a very positive outlook to Parks and Recreation. What is it about Parks and Recreation that kind of stirs that positive feeling, that happiness that you bring to your volunteer service?
It's just the interacting with my community that again that I have a business in. So I always said I like going out there. I like seeing what South Elgin Parks and Recs does because a lot of it is family orientated. So it's nice to see families coming down and utilizing whatever programs that we have. We live in such a hectic world nowadays where time is kind of precious to everybody. So when a family has a chance to, interact for a couple hours with their family members, I enjoy seeing that. And it gives me a great pride and feeling that I'm helping take part of what they're doing or interacting with at that moment to make their day. So it's just being involved on a one-to-one basis, or like it says, just talking to families and seeing how they're enjoying everything else. And I always like to get feedback. What else can we do? Because then I'll go back to South Elgin Parks and Recs, and we'll have a meeting, and we'll say, okay, this was really nice, but we felt that maybe there's more things that we can do. And South Elgin Parks and Recs is very open to any kind of ideas or suggestions as far as enhancing whatever programs that they do have.
Excellent. Now, just talking about South Elgin in general, what is it about that area that's so special to you, and what is it about the Parks and Recreation Department there that makes it so special?
Like I said, I've probably been doing it, if I go back, probably at least 15, 20 years without South Elgin Parks and Rec. It's just that positive feedback that I get from the village, South Elgin Parks and Recs, the whole community that works there within the village, how they're so positive. And again, South Elgin was a small community, just like everything else. It's developing, it's growing and stuff like that, but it still has that small, quaint charm when we do all these different events, especially down around the lake, Fox Lake River area and stuff like that. It's again just bringing families together and seeing them interact with other families or interact with whatever products, with items that we have going on, or fun things that we have going on within that day. I never get tired of it. Like it says, the village themselves are very positive of what they want to do, what they want to accomplish, and because of that, that makes me feel that I'm part of what they're trying to do. That I'm helping along with it also. So it gives me a good feeling on that end.
Excellent. Now, as I'd mentioned before, you're one of the winners of the Outstanding Citizen Volunteer of the Year award at this year's Best of the Best Awards Gala. How did it feel to receive that recognition?
It was really funny. I don't know if you know the whole story. It happened. I had to be down at my store in the morning because I work on the machines on a weekly basis. So I was down there in jeans and just a ordinary shirt. And all of a sudden, my wife and my daughter show up, and I'm like, "Well, what are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh no, we came down. We're going to do something after you finish as a family." And then my son was there, and okay, so nothing still was going on or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, my wife hands me one of my clean shirts. She says, "Can you put the shirt on?" And I'm like, "Why? I'm working on the equipment. I don't need a clean shirt." She's like, "Please put it on." So again, I kind of walked away, not thinking anything of it. And I come back and I still didn't have the shirt on. And she says, "Will you please put that shirt on?" I says, "Okay, no problem." I put it on. Well, no sooner did I put the shirt on than South Elgin Parks and Recs and village administrators came walking in with balloons and a big poster highlighting the event that I won and everything else. So I was really overwhelmed, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I think the South Elgin has gone beyond what they've had to do. On the reader board, they made the announcement that I was, voted and picked as volunteer of the year. At the banquet, it was very nice. We had administrators from South Elgin and again, South Elgin Parks and Recs. They also did a presentation at their board meeting declaring Steve Gordon Day and
Oh, wow.
like a proclamation. So they, like I said, they really, really went out on a nice way to do what they did for something that I really enjoy, not expecting anything out of it. Don't get me wrong, this has been quite an eye opener. I mean, people from the village, are stopping in the store, they, congratulating me. My Facebook page is, it's been highlighted with congratulations, you deserve it. Things like that. So getting feedback from our community like that and getting the feedback and the respect from the village that they showed towards me winning this honor really made me feel good.
Well, I definitely enjoyed seeing you receive the award that night. It's always such a fun time to give recognition to the volunteers around Illinois, because you guys really do make a lot of these agencies operate even better than they do, just because then you bring another added element of help or support or motivation. So no, I'm very happy to hear that you got surprised too. That's always fun.
Oh, very surprised. One of the talks I've had with Kim, especially right after COVID, is because she's also involved with the school district, is the lack of volunteers throughout the school. And I'm thinking to myself, people or parents, I know again, time is essence, but you should be able to devote a couple hours to your school, to your community, because by doing that, that's going to enhance your school, it's going to enhance your community, and it's going to make it a better place to live. And like I said, excuse me, I don't live in South Elgin, but the 20 years that I've been involved with South Elgin, I feel like I'm part of the family, that I've lived there, my entire life and everything else. It's just a great feeling when I walk down the street, and again, just talking to people, getting the reactions, and getting compliments on how much they enjoy the different programs that we put on to try to make it fun for them is so worthwhile and so gratifying that I wish more people would get involved, because it is a nice thing. You don't have to devote maybe as many hours as I do, but it's still nice to get involved. It's your community. You control what's the destination of it for you and your family. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it.
Now, do you have a particular volunteer of like a particular event or program that you like the most? I know it's probably hard to pick, but is there anything that you do that you think is like your favorite thing you look forward to it every single year?
A couple of things that we do, and again, I back the community for this, is I'm also very involved with our local children's hospital. And we just donated or wrote a check for $10,000 to the hospital because of the community giving back to help me raise money for the local hospital that Dairy Queen's involved in. So that was very gratifying. A couple other things that I do is during the summer, I'm involved with a camp that's called One Step, and it's cancer surviving kids. And I always mention this to South Elgin Parks and Recs because they're so concerned about what goes on with that. And it's something as simple as we make up 600 blizzards, bring them up to the Wisconsin Lake Geneva area where their camp is, and these kids get to have blizzards after their lunch period. And the best part about it is you would think I was giving them $100 bills or something like that, just because these kids are, when they go home, they're on medication. A lot of times they can't have the ice cream treats and stuff like that. So it's a big deal to them to get an ice cream treat where, again, I have a product that is so unique and brings such joy to kids. Again, just like what I try to do within our community. So whether I'm doing something with South Elgin to help enhance our community or trying to stay involved in my business to help hospitals, schools, or whatever, just so they can have a better future or a better outlook on what they're trying to do is my ultimate goal on everything.
Now, one more question for you.
Oh, sure.
What would you tell someone, maybe someone who's younger, who wants to really start volunteering? How would you recommend they get started? What would you tell them to take that first step into really becoming a part of their community?
It goes back to, again, the 20 years. Like it says, here we are, me and you sitting down, actually talking. Our younger generation, everything's done on phones and stuff like that. So I always try to emphasize, get involved with your community and talk. Don't interact on your phone, but physically talk to people. You would be amazed at what you find out about families. Sometimes family builds a trust in you because they see that you're volunteering and trying to help. And they may even speak out and ask for a little more guidance or assistance, to help them out and stuff like that. It's very rewarding, like it says, and it's a great way to interact with your community. And like it says, it's a simple but great feeling to achieve a goal, personally for yourself. So I always encourage my employees to go out and volunteer, and a lot of them do through the school programs, which I'm always great to see and stuff like that, because they come back and they know that I'm heavily involved with stuff. So I like to hear what they have to say, what they did. My employees, I know when they get involved in stuff like that, they're always nervous at the first time, but once they're comfortable and knowing what they're volunteering for, they actually feel good about it. At the end of their volunteering, whatever it may be, helping at the school, helping at a shelter, helping at a food line or everything else, it's that gratification that, somebody that's less fortunate or is maybe struggling, you were able to help them a little bit. Or in the sense of, again, South Elgin Parks and Recs, just being out there to make sure that the families are having a good time, enjoying themselves, that type of thing.
All right. Well, Steve, that's all the questions I have for you, but I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to speak with me. And I wanted to also congratulate you on the award. It's always great to recognize the volunteers that serve our agencies throughout the state. So thank you very much.
No, again, thank you so much for what you and your program does and everything else like that. And like it says, it was such a nice feeling to be nominated and accept the award at the banquet for this recognition. But again, I don't do it for the recognition part of it. I obviously do it because I enjoy doing what I do. It gives me a great satisfaction, and it's just a great way to watch and see how the community develops. And I've always been a firm believer that the more that volunteers get involved in their community, and it doesn't have to be whatever it is, the more satisfaction you're going to have with your community and what you accomplish in your community. So thank you by the bottom of my heart for everything you guys do. I really, really enjoyed this year. It's been very exciting for me.